This is John with John E. Meyer Construction Services, pressurewashing.com. We're going to be talking about pressure washing today and how the Predator 670 is working out, and just making the jump from a 2.5 gallon Simpson to a 10.2 plus Predator build. Now, I've got to say thanks and put a shout out to House Washing. Kevin there, he's the one I studied his build, watched his build. I don't know how many times I've viewed his build, his trailer build and stuff. This is one smart fella. He's also a master plumber, and that makes him something really special in my book. But I'd like to take a second to just let you know that hopefully it'll be exciting today. We're not going to do it. We're not out doing a job yet because we haven't got, we've only had one in our 2.5 gallon. Really, it did okay, but it didn't do okay. So if you see us on the road, stop us. We carry the water. We'll wash your truck. We'll wash your car or whatever. We'll even follow you and go wash your house. We do take all major credit cards and debit cards. We don't like cash. We take local checks. We don't sell stuff, but when we get this new thing here going with the metering valve set up a little different, so it isn't 180 bucks, we'll be letting you know. And if you have liked and subscribed to my page, you'll get one for free. So stay tuned. Talk to you soon. What we got today, this is my setup here. Predator 670. It's got a Honda carb on it. Pulse pump I just put on it from the smaller one, works great now. New fuel filter, same setup. RS500 gear drive. This is the equivalent of the 2221. Gauge for your head pressure, bypass, unloader, gauge for the pressure after the unloader, downstream injector. Yes, that works, but don't get carried away. I'm working on putting a pit cock. I'm thinking right now just putting it where I can get to it easily. It don't take nothing to pull the screws. I don't have clamps for this. What I wanted to show you was, the battery system comes from the inverter way up there. That's up there, which the inverter I kind of shorted out because it's only 1,000 watts, but it runs the pump stuff there. Well, in this area here, the battery to start this with is here. Now, the Predator 670 charging system is not well known for, it's more like a maintainer. So I checked this, and I'm getting 13.9 to 14.1 right now because of this one wire right here. This comes from the main battery. Doesn't go through the inverter, it's just stuck in the back on the lug. So it's just basically this is your alternator wire from the truck. This truck is made to idle, so it actually will keep this battery charged. Down here, the problem I was having was I've got this and I've got it extended, so the thing's down here. I got the cap to basically crack it right there, and it got the vent open, but yet the lock's still on, and it's there. And then the fuel comes in through here, through the bulb, and in through this. And I started it up this morning and it was fine. So what we're going to try to do is go ahead and work on giving you a little video and then a run of it, because the problem I was having was it seemed like it was starved for fuel. I have not got my SH tank set up yet. It's got about 2.5 gallons of 10% in it. So with all the research, one guy, he did it. I got an hour meter / tachometer coming, which is going to mount on it. Probably mount up there. I don't really want to mount nothing on here other than a headdress, to look like the Predator from the movies. That would be cool. This is my muffler extension, still holding solid, heat tape and the silicone high temp stuff on it. So right now, it seems like it's doing pretty good. that there's a fellow on YouTube did a video about that 75 or 50 foot Simpson hose. Listen to what he's saying. Don't buy it. That thing is stiffer than a preacher's. Well, you know what I mean. And it's so hard to roll up. You got a filter where you fill on the RV fill here, goes into a Hudson valve. Bypass goes in, dumps in there, and you got an air admittance valve right there on the top on the lid. Surface cleaner right now is a Simpson 15-inch, I think, sitting back there. This will run, I think, what is it? For every 4 inches for every gallon per minute. So this will do 10.2, basically almost 11 gallons a minute. Yeah, I should be okay with a 20 with wheels when I get the money. Right now, it's a matter of making money. This works really good. This yellow hose is very pliable, works good. I've got a setup here with a nozzle for the soft force. Those, they're not the high dollar metering valves, which I gave the rent for, but we're working on that metering system. And as we speak, this is my jetter hose. I need the, you know, the $1,000 Jetter's Edge in Australia. Hi guys. You can order from them. They will ship it to you. But all I'm going to do is bring a thing over here, piece of stainless, have it tigged on there, the high pressure T, the valve, the feed, and then the ball valve, which goes to this, and that allows you to control it back and forth. That's my jetter hose or extension for the other. Truck's a mess right now, my apologies. I'm trying to get things done. So we've got the charging wire going. Now this come off this little doohickey here. Now you know what this does? You can adjust the metering right there through that port on this. So if you put a barb fitting right there in there, put this on the end of your tip, hook, you can downstream right at the nozzle like you would there, I would assume, because this has a plus and minus. This adjusts the tip. This adjusts the draw through this meter. So what I'm wondering is, what if I was to get 3 of these, take this part off to where all I had was a barb? Would that, okay, and then from here, actually all you really need, you're going this way through it. So it would be sitting like this. So if you plugged this, it would meter differently. I have to figure it out, but there's a way to get that, because see how it pulls the screw open to let more and do it? There's a way to set these up. I gotta see if this will come off and how to I think it just push that pin that'll come off. Set it up so you got something like 3 of these, and you can adjust them and screw them $170, $150 valves, and then people add 300 to it because they spent 10 minutes putting it together with some pipe tape. No, I'm just charging that one battery. I'm gonna shut this off. Okay, so anyway, I'll get back to you in just a minute, in a few minutes. And what we're doing is I did the charging wire. Now I've got to work on, I only have clips for the little hose, which is the only reason that pitcock isn't going right in here or down here. Okay, this is tracer dye for sewer lines. It's a concentrate, by the way. You don't just pour it down the line. I mean, you're wasting it for that. I'm a licensed plumber, but I love pressure washing. So you can take, there's probably $2,500 in this whole setup right here right now, plus. But you can do this and get a motor set up, and I don't care whether you do this motor or the Honda, whatever, but 22 horse or above, the 10.2 gallon pump, the drive, set it up. And you know, when the guys talk about stainless steel, it's not just about chlorine resistance. Those T's are thicker and better to hold up to the pressure. This thing here, when you start it up, you can jack it up over 3,000 psi with no trouble. I've got it about 2,800 right now, which is all I need. And then when I did my feed, you see it comes from the tank, and it's 1 inch straight into the fitting like they call for, which is a 1-inch barb by 3/4 male iron pipe thread goes into there. You disconnect on the end of the downstreamer. I'm not set up yet. I want to get that right, but you know, I got this problem with $700 or $1,000 for this blend manifold shit because of those 3 valves. You know, you can open that valve, leave that valve shut that's behind there, open the other valve over there, and that pump, the Everflow 7 gallon a minute, will pull through this and then adjust whichever one you want, and then you can see it going through there, and it then feeds in there because there's a valve to block those 2 lines off. Or you shut those off, open the other one, you can run just water. You know, that one there, see that valve right there? That one there, I can shut all those valves. That one doesn't really matter. It's a oops. Open that valve, twist that crimp off, put a new piece of 1/2 inch on, drop it in a basin, and that thing will suck a 6-foot deep basin down with no problem, so you can get down there to fix a factory screw up that somebody hasn't paid me for yet. Story for another day. So anyway, if you remember, I used to have that up there. That didn't work. I had that up there for a little while. You can see the bolts, but I need a different setup for the hose. I haven't got there yet. The biggest thing is getting this running right. Well, this morning when I fired it up, and there will be a video attached to this of it running and stuff shortly, but I changed that pump because I looked over there at my other pressure washer and I said, you know, I got a Honda pulse pump right there. I got one, a pulse pump coming, but I said I got one right there. So I changed it, and sure enough, it's a lot better. I idled it down all the way with no trouble, shut it off. That's the only time it's going to be idled down. Motor's doing pretty good. I got some oil down here, but that's from when I changed the oil the other day. And the oil sender, you know, I'm not a big fan of pulling them off because, I mean, you get $1,000, $300 plus, depends, plus all the rest of the stuff. You start adding it up, and it's like, you know, but why go from a 2.5 gallon to a 4 or a 5? For the same cost, I can go all the way up to almost 11 and be done with it. Do you know what I mean? And then take the motor from that one, put the small AR30 or AR45 3/4 shaft right on that GC 190 maybe. Change fuel pump, of course, which I have. And then mount it somewhere in here to do it better with that hand, because roofs look like they really, you know, this works good, but I have to get up there. I mean, I just can't get the shot. What I'm trying to do at the moment, mainly with this thing, is the metering thing is tweaking me, and I took this this thing out. I'm trying to get this to where I can use it as like an X-jet nozzle without using the metering function, or put a male adapter in there and use it as the downstream thing. All you're doing is getting rid of that, but it's doing the same thing. But just think about it. If you're blowing through this way, right, this is your plus or minus in your metering, which pulls that needle in and out. All you need this to do is go up through that check valve, or pull up through one, whatever, right? You know what this cost? Half the cost of a Pentair valve. So I don't know about you, but it's called do the math. There's a way to do it. So anyway, that's it for the moment. Hang on, and I'll get another one. And then some people have been telling me do like a clip in the beginning to give you a preview of what the video's about. So I'm gonna be working on that. I know my videos aren't the greatest, but hey, we're trying to do what we're trying to do. And a lot of people, they just, you know, they can't go out and drop, you know, $20,000. And I appreciate these guys. I want to apologize. You know, I didn't do this rant about those valves. I understand that they're expensive. Okay, and I understand your time's worth money, but there's a difference. If I go out and I pay $20 for something, I'm not going to carry it around. I'm not going to put it together. I'm not going to do stuff for free. But if I only mark it up a little bit and say I paid $20 for it and I only charge $50, I'm looking to sell the quantity of constant customers, rather than I'll mark it up as for $100 for me to put it together, and then mark up the valves, sell that sucker for $1,000. Okay, so I only sell, instead of 100,000 of the ones I sold at 50, I sell 1,000 of the ones I sold at 1,000. Quality comes, you know, you're talking 10 minutes time to put it together. If it takes you longer than that, you need not be in the business. I mean, common sense, knowing how to put things together, mechanically inclined. You know, this is not really a job you can just grab and go. You need to know the chemicals, what to put them on, what works. You're trying to clean stuff off, not kill every bush they have, peel the paint, and then say, well, yeah, but it ain't got no dirt on it, does it? Okay, Leroy, let's not do that, okay? And I haven't cut my grass yet. My lawnmower's acting up because I don't have a shop built yet for anything, so work with me, guys. So anyway, the biggest thing is we're working on the metering thing. Like I said, I got the charge set up. This van is set up to do 4 different things. 3 master trades and 1 that I'm learning in, and that's the thing. So we're getting this set up and make sure it gets running right and everything. And yes, you know, once it burned off the oil from the factory here, if you keep your windows open, cracked up there, keep these always open, this vehicle's made to idle. The heat's not too bad right here. But if I have to, when I had my motorhome, there's a metal fan that'll go up right there that'll blow a ton of heat out right here with no trouble and work right off the thing. Because when I'm running and I use the battery system was running, like the pump, software pump, etc., the vehicle's idling to keep it from running the battery down. So anyway, that's it for the moment. I'll talk to you shortly. And hang in there, and we'll try to get this video set up like my daughter and the rest of them said, you know, with a little clip and some other stuff. I've got the program I spent money for to do it. I did this. I didn't know how to work it that well. Give me a break. I'm not 20, which has nothing to do with it, but yet it does. So anyway, hang in there. Right now, our biggest issue in this video is going to be adding a charger wire with your setup here, having your gas tank below your carb set up there. Will it go through a pump bulb? Yes, it will. Will it draw right? Yes, it will. And changing the filter up here so you can see what's going on. You're really no reason to pull your oil sensor or your governor on this. You're only going to go what this gives you. And the biggest issue with this is when you let off the wand, does your bypass work correctly so that you don't burn the pump up, the pump doesn't overheat. They say don't let it, even with a bypass, don't stay off that handle for more than 3 minutes. So naturally, use your brain here. But when you get into it like this is once again from Water's Edge Exterior Cleaning in Michigan, Chase and Jim. See, they're the ones who sent me the stickers. If you're in Michigan and you need a skid, $149, I believe. I think the shipping is different. I don't know whether they fixed that on the website yet, so don't panic, because I can tell you right now, if you buy it and you pay the wrong shipping, you will be receiving a phone call. Chase or Jim will call you directly, and they make it right. He told me, he said, I apologize for that. It was marked wrong. It's actually for a reel, not that. And he sent me that downstream injector. Now, he's not going to send everybody a downstream injector, but he will make it right. So if you're in Michigan, give them a call. They got good stuff. They're building stuff, but they're also actually out working like crazy. They're not just building skids to flood the market with pressure washing people. They're actually out there doing it, but they also build skids and stuff and set it up. So give them a call if you're out there. Thanks again, Chase. I'm working through it, and like I said, I'll get back with you shortly, and we'll do with it running and spraying and get you a look at the valves and some other stuff. Okay, talk to you later. So anyway, we're going to pull this top off, see about putting a pitcock in temporarily somewhere that's a little hard to get to, but we should be able to get to it we want to make sure we can get to it from the front cover with no leaks. So we'll see what we got going on, because the hard part here is this guy and this guy, and I don't know where I can put it and still get it. I don't think it's going to happen in there. I really don't see it happening convenient wise, because it would have to be right in there. It needs to be in there. Actually, I'd prefer it to be right there, but I don't have the clips. So I guess we're going to wait on that, guys. We'll put this back together, because we don't need it apart. Okay. Now remember, if you decide to get one of these and you're going to do like I'm doing, keep in mind that when you change the muffler system, okay, which does what? It affects the back pressure on the motor, which the motor was set and designed and set up when it was at the factory. They set these to run a little lean, so you know how that is. Liberal policy of let's make everything green. You want it green, fertilize your lawn, because you don't have the technology yet to be as green as you'd like. All you're doing is putting us in the poorhouse. The biggest issue is remember that you might need to pull those two little seal caps and adjust your idle screw, and you might have to adjust your throttle and high end, you know, basically reaching it up just a little bit and adjust it, which basically most of them are saying, and I've seen on YouTube, turn them all the way till they stop, count your turns half at a time in so you can put it right back where it was. I think it's a good idea to add the RPM gauge, by the way. I have one coming to be here today. But make sure you adjust it so it runs right when you make a change. Now this isn't enough change and didn't change here, but say I took straight pipes and brought them up here, brought them together, and then put a muffler that was right up here blowing out, which would be too much heat and too much gawk. I'd have to change and adjust the carb just a little bit, because that would not produce the back pressure that this was set up on and that was tuned with. And when you tune that carb, remember that once this goes on, it's going to change a little bit. So keep that in mind, put your air filter and everything back on it, and then if you have to, you can pull it back off and drill a hole in those things that you can put a plug in, a little rubber plug, and you could stick your screwdriver in to adjust it a little bit, put it back on, check your thing, make sure it's running right, go through the range. Now this runs most of the time at full throttle, but I want to be able to throttle it down to an idle and let the pressure off the one and shut it off so it don't backfire or have an issue. You gotta, you know, you gotta use your brain. Not enough coffee today, you know what I mean? Anyway, see you again in a little bit. Give it another test, see how it's doing. This wand, by the way, has an extension on it. Green tip, wrong orifice for this unit. But doesn't seem too bad. That though, I would expect that gauge to be putting out what this is putting out, not go to zero till you squeeze the handle. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, because the other one maintains, but we'll find out. Anyway, that was a test of the thing. Yeah, predators always seem to need to be choked. Why do we have... Probably a little bit of wet there. what they're not gas. That I can tell. But it might have been from the thing, who knows. Anyway, so we did that. We're going to leave this stretched out here for the moment. And drain our stuff. I have no chemicals or nothing in it, so I'm not, you know. But that's a test of it. Seems to do pretty good. I haven't put it to a test work-wise yet, but right now I don't want to get on the job and have it stuck on stupid. So hang in there, and I'll be making more on it and stuff. But I'll try to get the clip set up at the beginning, then the intro, then the video, etc. So hang in there with me. I do not plan to get good enough at this one day to start building skids and stuff. If you need a hand and I know something that'll help you, call me. My number's out there, 912-850-0640. But I like it so far. I like the setup. I almost wish I'd have went with some of those 250-pound plus roller guided bearing things and had one that slides it out here to run, so I wouldn't have had to do the muffler thing. But then I'd have had a bunch of stuff that would have had the coil right and everything, and I kind of like the way it's set up. I'm thinking about taking that out, putting on one side a 100-gallon tank, and on the other side a 30 SH or a 50 SH, and then 225s to have surfactant and degreaser in it and stuff. And so I have the air passage through that way. I'm not quite sure, but I love that tote. Got it for $40 out of Mississippi while I was driving. And like that one fella said, you got the downstream injector right here. What's to say we can't, since I got all that valve set up, put this right over there in that line with a barb, and instead of just using this to do it, I could pull it through that and just use the thing through the downstreamer on that. It all depends on what you want to do and figure out. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Like, subscribe, and share, and help us out. Thanks.